Hello my Foonatics, it's Fufu here. Today I'm going to be bringing you another ORAS Wi-Fi battle. This one is against Hoodlumscrafty. Now, you should probably know who Hoodlumscrafty is. He is kind of a big deal. He's a great YouTuber. I will leave his link in the description, so please check him out. He does like LPs and Wi-Fi battles and all sorts, so yeah, do that. This battle, I am bringing a team based around Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados got a fun new toy in ORAS, which is Crunch. Something that is deserved for the longest time. As soon as it got Dark type when it Mega Evolved, why did they not give it Crunch straight away? I don't understand. I kind of think that they just forgot in X and Y and then it was an afterthought in ORAS. Oh wait, yeah, we should have given it Crunch. But anyways, I've been having fun with this thing on Showdown. I haven't used it in X and Y before, but it's so bulky and so powerful with loads of setup opportunity. I really like it. I'm using a bulky subset, so definitely a fun thing. We can see if it does anything in this match. I've got the team support in the form of Wallcore of Sylveon and Pharaoh. Sylveon's actually a Calm Mindset, which is kind of fun, and Pharaoh has the Shed Shell because of the prevalence of Gothitelle and Magnezone. I've got a Choice Banded Scizor because it's powerful. I've got a standard Life Orb Defog Latios, and I've got a Greninja which has the Gunk Chop and stuff, but it's actually Scarf. I made this team before Mega Ments was banned, so it was very relevant there, but I think it's still relevant because Mega Sceptile's a thing, Choice Scarf Lando is definitely a thing, so it's kind of still very useful and I like it. So that's what I'm bringing. Looking at Callum's team, he's got the block. He's got like all the block. He's got a Slowbro, which I didn't really realize straight away was probably Mega Slowbro because he's got no other Megas on his team, and it's ORAS. Come on, it's gonna be Mega Slowbro. He's got the Chansey, oh no, and he's got the Conk and the Togekiss. Is just so much bulk. Conk is a big threat to my team because it takes on Mega Gyarados really well, takes on Ferrothor really well, and can Mach Punch the Greninja, so it's a big threat. That's one of the biggest threats to my team. I don't know how I'm going to take out the Chansey either because I don't have a fighting type, but Mega Gyarados is really powerful and Choice Banded Scizor is really powerful, so those are probably my best bets. In terms of Magnezone, I need to watch out for that. My Pharaoh, as I say, is Shed Shell, so I can play around it like that. But it means that my Scizor can't lock itself into the Bullet Punch, so I need to be aware of that. And finally, he's got Lando. Looking at his team, it's probably Scarf, and he needs some offensive pressure, so that's what I thought. Interesting note, he's got the Mega Slowbro, which is a huge threat to any team, but I have the Mega Gyarados, which can actually use Slowbro as setup fodder. I need to preserve my Gyarados. Gyarados is very important, but I need it for the Slowbro. So with that thought, let's get into the battle. I thought that he would probably lead with his Choice Scarf Lando. It's a great lead and it's nice to scout and everything. But I wanted to get the cheeky KO with a Scarf Greninja Ice Beam. That's what I was aiming for right now. But Callum sees it coming. I did lead with my Greninja. Leading with Greninja is kind of a red flag thing for, yeah, I'm Scarfed. So he saw that coming, has got the easiest switch into Chansey. Chansey eats up pretty much any hit from Greninja. So that's really well played for him. I'm going to go into Ferrothor, which is a nice switch on Chansey. I want to get my rocks up as early as possible. But Callum sees that coming and goes into his Magnezone. And he is all up in my head right now. I am like, oh god, bag foot. I'm on the back foot. So I'm going to switch into my Latios because I can take HP fires all day. He won't see the Shed Shell coming, or will he? He goes for a Volt switch. I was like, did he seriously just predict my Shed Shell Pharaoh? Oh my lord. So he gets switch initiative and can go into his Lando right here, and that kind of confirms to me he's probably Scarf Lando with the knockoff or the U-turn or something because he'll outspeed my Latios. So I'm going to have to switch out again, and Callum is just, he's putting all the pressure on. I do have my Mega Gyarados though, so knockoff won't do anything because I've got a Mega Stone, so it's not boosted. U-turn won't do anything, it's resisted. I've got the Intimidate, so it's definitely my best switch in. He goes into his Slowbro right now, probably not realizing that I'm Mega, so his Psychic type attack won't work. So I'm going to go, I need to Mega up to take the Psychic type attack and go straight for a sub, and something is going to get smacked with a hit. Mega Gyarados is so powerful. I love this thing. I max attack Adamant, so this Conk is going to take a lot of damage. It's good to see the Conk as well because I want damage on this thing. I said before, it's a scary threat to my team, and I'm going to get over a half of its health with that unboosted Waterfall. Oh my lord, that was beautiful. I'm going to switch into my Sylveon now. I know that he can't really over-predict at this stage because I would be able to kill that Conk with another Waterfall, but I want to preserve my Gyarados, as I said before. I need it for the Slowbro. I'm going to go for a Hyper Voice right now, wanting to take out that Conk desperately because if I can take that out early, that would make my job a lot easier. But Callum makes a play and goes into his Togekiss. I'm going to switch out right now. Togekiss is a threat to my team if it has a Fire-type move. I'm going to switch into my Steel-type anyway, my Scizor, because I didn't think that he would go for a Fire-type move on the Sylveon, but he might have done. He might have gone for a Toxic or whatever. But right now, I can't go for a Bullet Punch for reasons that I mentioned before. He's got the Magnezone, so I'm going to go for the U-turn and try and get some initiative going on. And he goes into his Lando. That does a lot of damage even after the Intimidate, so he's almost definitely Scarf. I haven't confirmed it yet, but that kind of confirmed it for me. No lefties after this turn either. So I can go into my Pharaoh, and I want to get my rocks up, which I managed to do here. That's going to be really useful, but he gets a free switch into his Conk again. I do not want him recovering that health with the Drain Punch, so I'm going to go into my Sylveon to try and resist the Drain Punch and stop him from getting the health back. He sees that coming, goes for the Poison Jab, and just so much damage. That was way too much, way too much. I can't risk throwing up a Wish right now because he would kill me with another Poison Jab, so I definitely want to go for a Hyper Voice. I think Callum predicted me to predict him to switch out, fearing the Hyper Voice, and so he was going for another Poison Jab, but I do manage to take out that Conk, which is really fortunate for me, really fortunate. He's going to go into his Magnezone, and the way he's been playing it, I don't think that he'll go for a Hidden Power Fire on my Sylveon, so I'm going to go into my Pharaoh to try and resist either of his stabs. He actually goes for a Volt Switch, giving him the priority again, which isn't ideal. It's not really ideal. But he can bring in his Togekiss, and I'm actually going to stay in. I think he was trying to threaten me out with the threat of a Fire-type attack. Not sure. My Pharaoh is quite heavily invested in special defense. I don't really have a switch into this Togekiss, so I was just staying in, going for a Gyro Ball, which literally does 0 to the Slowbro. It didn't move. The health just didn't move. But I'm gonna throw up some seeds as he switches into the Magnezone. I didn't have much reason to switch out on the Slowbro, to be honest. Slowbro is a threat, and I can't switch straight into my Gyarados because I can't risk getting the burn. If my Gyarados gets burned, then that's pretty much game. So he's in with his Magnezone again. I thought the only reason he'd bring it in would be HP Fire. Latios can eat up an HP Fire, right? Well, not if it's not HP Fire. That was like, oh my god, has he got HP Ice? Really? Latios is pretty much out of the game now because of that huge damage it's just taken. I'm going to go into my Sylveon to eat up this HP Ice, but it's resisted, and Callum confirmed after the match that it was actually HP Dark. He had misgened his Magnezone, but the way it went, it actually worked in his favour. I was keeping my Steel types away from the Magnezone, not letting them get hit by the hidden powers, but what actually happened was my Latios just got smacked anyway, so yeah, that actually worked in his favour, which is kind of annoying. I go for a Calm Mind with my Sylveon right now, and that probably wasn't the best play because he's got so many things to stop a Calm Mind Sylveon. So I'm just going to switch out. If I had just thrown up a Wish, that would probably have been a better play. I'm going to go into my Pharaoh, as I said before. It's a really good switch into any Chansey, really. And I'm going to throw up some seeds again because Chansey gives you so much health if you get the seeds on it. He brings in his Slowbro, and really the only play I can make is going for the Power Whip. If he goes for a Scald straight away and gets a burn, then that's not good. I can't switch into my Gyarados for that exact reason. I need to play around the Slowbro really carefully because I do need to get my Gyarados in because I can't let it set up. But at the same time, I can't let my Gyarados get burned. So I go for a Power Whip, base 120 stab, super effective move, and it did like 2 damage. That was stupid. Goddamn Slowbro, please give me a chance. But I have whittled the Slowbro to a point where I can bring in my Gyarados on a slack off. That's what I was predicting anyway. And he does go for the slack off, which is great. He's also got the seeds on him, so I will be able to get a little bit of health back for my Gyarados. Definitely helpful because I have no other recovery for Gyarados, and it means that I might be able to pop an extra sub up at some point or whatever. It's just nice to have more health on a Gyarados that's so bulky anyway. So I'm just going to go for a Crunch. I was thinking he might want to go into the Lando again. There's not really much point in setting up yet, so just wanted to go for a Crunch. Didn't want to go for Waterfall in case he stayed in with a Slowbro. And I switch out here on the Togekiss because I don't know the Togekiss stat yet. If it's max HP, max speed, it will outspeed me, and I don't want to get T-Waved on my Gyarados. So I just switch out into my Scizor. He gets the Defog off, which kind of saw coming. I knew that if he wanted to keep his Togekiss around, he'd have to try for that. But now here the Magnezone mind games come into play. I can't go for the Bullet Punch. It means that Togekiss could go for the Roost, and I'm going to U-turn out of there. But I do get Switch Initiative. It means that I can go into my Latios safely and can try for a big Psyshock before it dies. And I managed to do that. It does loads of damage to the Togekiss. Doesn't quite take it out, which is a shame. But Latios goes down after the hidden power. At least it did something. It helped me chip on that Togekiss. God damn! So now, really the only switch I can make is going into Greninja, because I'm not sure if anything else outspeeds and I can't go for the Bullet Punch. So Greninja was my best play, just go for the Ice Beam. But Callum has no reason to sack his Togekiss when he's got this lovely, cozy, safe switch into Chansey right now. I'm going to switch into my Sticky Barb, the Ferrothorn. You'll see the switch a number of times. You have done already. Probably, I don't know how many more times you'll see it done, but that's the switch I'm going to make. So Ferro's in here. He's actually double switched into Slowbro, just wanting to take on my Ferrothorn better. Like, Ferrothorn is not going to win this matchup. Even with the seeds on the Slowbro, it's a water type, and I'm a grass type, and even then, Slowbro will win this matchup, which is just ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. So anyways, he's switching out into his Magnezone as I want to get my rocks up. You've seen the health that Togekiss is at. It means that Togekiss will now be dead. So that's good. My Ferrothorn has taken down that Togekiss with the rocks. I'm going to stay in on the Magnezone, seeing what he wants to do. I get the Leech Seed up. I know that he doesn't have HP Fire now, so I don't think he's got anything to take me out. And seeing that he's locked himself into the Thunderbolt, that's great. I'm going to switch into my Sylveon because he's got the Leech Seed on the Magnezone, and with Leech Seed and lefties, I can take the T-Bolt fine. But he actually just sacks his Togekiss right now, which is a fine play as I switch into my Sylveon. What that does mean is that he can come back in with his Magnezone, and rather than being locked into Thunderbolt, he can go for the Flash Cannon and scare me out with that. So I'm going to go into my Ferrothorn again. I can scout what he wants to lock himself into and go from there. If it is the Flash Cannon, that's actually really good for me because it gives me a free switch into the threat that is Mega Gyarados. So I can go into my Mega Gyarados right now, and I make a little bit of a misplay here. I should really have gone straight for the Waterfall because the only thing that takes it is the Slowbro, but I can set up on that. Whereas the switch into the Lando was quite obvious, and setting up a sub just means that he gets the Intimidate on me. So yeah, I really should have just gone straight for a Waterfall there. But it's okay. I'm behind a sub. I'm not behind a sub anymore, but it means that I can fire off a free move, and I'm going to go for a Waterfall. It just means that it's a -1 now instead of full power. But I can go for the Waterfall, and can it 2-hit KO this Chansey? Can it 2-hit KO the Chansey? Not quite. Not quite. God damn it. So I'm going to go into Scizor. The Chansey kind of has to go for the Seismic Toss because I've shown sub before and he can't let me set up a sub, because if I do, then I can go for the Dragon Dance and stuff, and it's not good for him. So I get the switch into Scizor as the Chansey goes for the Soft Boiled, but that's not going to work out because I do manage to break through the para, go for the U-turn, and go into Flirty Fish, the Gyarados. We've seen that -1 Waterfall wouldn't kill, but just a standard Waterfall. Just a standard Waterfall is going to take out that Chansey, which is great. We love seeing Chanseys being knocked out. God damn. That was good. Gyarados putting in the work, making me very happy. A very, very proud Foo with this beast of a Mon. So now he's in with a Lando. I'm going to switch out into my Greninja. I know from experience I can take anyone here, even if it's a U-turn or an Earthquake, and just sit here pretty. As he goes into the Magnezone, I was thinking maybe he's trying to bait me to go for a Water-type move or something, and he might go into his Slowbro, so I'm just going to U-turn on the Magnezone. I get the switch initiative. and can go into my Sylveon. But I don't really know what to do. I went into my Sylveon because I knew that if he locked himself into Flash Cannon, I was in that situation again with my whatchamacallit, Gyarados. I'd be able to bring in my Gyarados and go from there, set up, and it will be brilliant and dandy and whatever. But if he goes for a Thunderbolt, I can probably just take out the Magnezone with my Sylveon. I don't think the crit mattered because Hyper Voice is actually really powerful, even though it's resisted. So now he brings in his Lando, and I feel like Sylveon's done its job. It's probably not going to be that useful at that range of health. So I'm going to stack my Sylveon, come in with my Greninja, and again I was thinking he's definitely going to predict my Ice Beam. He's going to predict my Ice Beam and go into Slowbro, and I can't let that happen, so I'm going to U-turn right now. But actually he predicts my U-turn, and that's not good. It means that I have to go into Scizor. Scizor can take one Earthquake and threaten with a Bullet Punch, but this is a really crucial play. Right now, if I go for a Bullet Punch, I can either take out this, but then he gets to switch into Slowbro and a setup because I'm locked into Bullet Punch. Or he can straight switch into Slowbro, eat up a Bullet Punch. Basically, Bullet Punch was not a great play for me, and I really needed to go for the U-turn, as long as he didn't stay in and go for the Earthquake. But that works out great. That really works out great. He does switch into the Slowbro. I've got what I needed now because I can go into my Gyarados on the Slowbro, and that is everything. That is pretty much game. I can set up a sub, even if he switches into the Lando on that turn, I could just set up another sub on his U-turn and then start Dragon Dancing on this thing. He goes for a Slack Off. We can see how much Crunch is going to do to this Mega Slowbro, and it is pretty much 50%, pretty much as he's recovering. So there is really no point in him going for any Slack Offs or trying to store me out. As we see, Mega Gyarados is going to clean up with the Crunch, making me so happy. This set worked to perfection. I didn't Dragon Dance Sweep with it, but just with a sub and being bulky and taking on the huge threat that is Slowbro, one of the biggest threats in the whole game at the moment. It just made me so happy, and cleaning up, yeah. Huge threat, Mega Gyarados. Guys, you should try it out. There are other sets as well. There's like Dragon Dance 3 attacks with speed and attack. So that's another set you could try out. But thank you very much for that game, Callum. It was really close, and it actually came right down to the wire. Because if he had stayed in with his Lando and taken my Scizor out while I was paralyzed, then his Slowbro stood a chance. But I did kind of just beat it with my Gyarados. Gyarados was a good matchup against Slowbro, so yeah, because his Kong went down early and my Gyarados kind of had free reign. That really worked out for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really like this team. I really like Mega Gyarados, and I'll probably be using it a bit more. I've been Fufu, you've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!